New York Magazine tried to say that this Trump inauguration party was overwhelmingly white. There's just one problem. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about New York Magazine trying to lie to you, trying to manipulate you, trying to gaslight you, as the mainstream media always does. This is a pattern at this point. It's not anything new. It's not anything innovative. This is just par for the course. Now, what they are lying about this time is a Trump inauguration party sponsored by Kalshi. And Kalshi is not the sponsor of my video, but they have sponsored my videos in the past. And the reason why I brought up Kalshi is because the co-founder of that is not this white male who they think every Republican is, okay? He's just not that. I'm not that. There's quite a few people who are not just what they say we are, all right? And if we are who they say we are, then there's no need for all the manipulation and lying and deceptive practices. Now, before I go any further, let's just get straight to the magazine cover right here, okay? Let me get this picture right here, better angle. Now, look, you see what it says, New York Magazine, the cruel kids table, out late with the young right as they contemplate cultural domination by Brock Collier. Now, you can see the picture. I think they look great. They look amazing. And the women, they look beautiful. The guys, they look well-dressed, well-groomed. Everybody looks great in this picture. So first of all, the objective is to try to make them look like, oh, it's just white people. Nobody else is allowed in. They hate minorities. That's the general idea here. But what I see is a bunch of cool kids. Okay, they want to say cruel kids as in they're somehow bad people, but I see a bunch of cool kids. I see the future leaders of this nation. Okay. Now, this picture has been cropped. Okay. It has been cropped. It's not the full picture because it is easy to crop a picture a certain way to fit a narrative rather than just telling the truth. Now, let's go here. Okay. Let's read the caption here, shall we? So this is New York Magazine. For our latest cover story, Brock Collier reported on the young, gleeful, confident, and casually cruel Trump supporters who, after conquering Washington, have their sights set on the rest of America. Okay. Now, I'll link to the article, but it is a paywall. If you want to pay New York Magazine to read that, then go ahead. But look, here's New York Post. It says New York Magazine ripped for cropping black people from Trump party cover photo, claiming almost everyone is white. Now, even if the party was, let's say, majority white, the way you're trying to frame it is like it's all white. That's the idea. And you're also trying to frame it like black folks aren't welcome. That's what you're trying to say. Okay. Now let's keep on going. Here is a full picture. Okay. Here's a full picture that was cropped before. If you click on the article link on New York Magazine, it'll show you the full picture. But you're not going to see that on social media. You're not going to see that from the magazine cover. Now look, okay, so 1, 2, 3 black folks just out of frame. And is it a coincidence that you see the white line right there? That's the magazine cover. Is it a coincidence that it just happened to crop him out perfectly? Is that a coincidence? I mean, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe they wanted to get the handsome young guy down here in the frame, so they cut him out. Or maybe the objective was to not include the black people in the picture. There's also a guy right here who might be black, biracial, or something like that. You could tell by his hair, and his face is covered by the title. You see how that works? Now, I'm a graphic designer, and I know how to kind of cover up things with design elements, how to crop. These kind of things, from my experience, are not done by accident. This was done on purpose to convey a message. Now, I'm going to read some of this right here. I don't know why they got the rest of this blurred out, but this is really important. So it says, inexplicably, the room smelled like corn. Sexual Healing was playing. Quote, have you noticed the entire room is white? That's what they say right here in the article. And an older woman in an updo and silver sequin gown asked me, though it wasn't entirely clear whether she thought that was a good thing or a bad thing. The Lake and Riley Act was a popular topic of the conversation. Now, here's a question. The person who asked that question about the room being white, what color was she? You see, they ain't talk about that. They talk about what she had on, but not her ethnicity. And if they did, they probably would have been able to identify another non-white person the same kind of way we can see more non-white people in the picture that's not cropped for social media purposes. But let's continue. From an aesthetic standpoint, this new class of conservatives is willing to top off a perfectly stylish outfit with a MAGA hat, which now comes in lots of colors. Red, yes, but also yellow, green, orange, or black, the dark MAGA kind that Elon Musk wears. Almost everyone is white. They keep repeating it. So it's not just an off-color comment. This is just their narrative. The men look like Pete Hegseth in bow ties and black suits with clean-shaven faces. The women are almost all out of their league. As I was once informed, these young conservative parties are 80% men and 20% the most beautiful women you've ever seen. Their makeup is subtle. Their hair only gently blown out. Their faces are not noticeably Botox. All in all, they are less yassified than the older women in their party. See Kimberly Guilfoyle. Now, who's writing this article? Brock, like, how old are you? Are you like 15 years old? Yassified? What does that mean? And the whole thing about the women being out of the men's league, that's not how this works, you see. I'm not sure if you're LGBT or something like that, Brock, but maybe you want the men to be all pretty, all this and that, the same as the women. That's not how it works. The women know where the men are. The women know how to get to the creme de la creme, the top of the top. And they're not going to be looking like, some type of fashion model. I mean, how handsome is Elon Musk or Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos? Okay. And these young guys are here pretty handsome, actually. So they're not out of their league at all. They are exactly where they need to be. They're trying to go roll with the winners. They're not trying to go to some dumpy, frumpy Antifa rally or something like that. They want to roll with the winners. That's how it is. So they're not out of the league at all. They're actually going to be probably a good match. I'm willing to bet that some of these women may find them a long-term boyfriend, husband, or something like that from this party. They're like-minded. They're on the same page. They're all young. It makes sense. All right. But again, the party was not all white. Friend of mine was there. Rob Smith was there. Waka Flocka was there. Matter of fact, we got more pictures. So look, there goes CJ Pearson and Waka Flocka. Okay. So I don't understand. Oh, it's all white for real? For real, for real? It doesn't make any sense. And then here we have more. So we got black folks all in the party. And not just black, we got other ethnicities aside from white. So when people say, oh, you just hate black people, you love the white man, it's a ridiculous thing to say. It is ridiculous, okay? Now, again, the picture, I think they look great. I think they look amazing. But New York Magazine, really, is what we're going to do? We're going to try to crop pictures to present a false narrative. That's what we got to reduce ourselves to. Come on now. Come on. If what you're saying is so true, that the conservative party is full of white men and they hate women, they hate minorities, all this, that, and the third, well, I mean, you got to kind of wrestle with this. You have to wrestle with what you actually see. You got to wrestle with reality rather than see, look, reality is the entire picture, right? Reality is a full picture that's not cropped. A fake version of reality is a cropped picture with the Cruel Kids table going over the guy right there's face because you don't want to show him. You don't want to take away from the narrative. This is at best yellow journalism. At worst, it's just an outright lie. An outright lie. Propaganda. Worse than the Chinese Communist Party. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to everybody who was there. All the young, beautiful people. You guys look great. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys are going to be the future leaders of this nation. Now, Brock Collier, New York Magazine, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And you know what? This is yet another reason why we don't like y'all. Y'all meaning mainstream media, old school media, leftist media. We don't like y'all because y'all can't help but to lie. Look, I'm all about the truth. And I tell everybody, whenever they watch me, anything that I do, if I'm just doing my own videos, if I'm doing somebody else's podcast, whatever it is, I'm going to tell everybody, hey, don't even believe me. Don't believe them. Do your own research. Okay. And this right here is a prime example of don't believe me. Don't believe them. Do your own research. Okay. Because If I didn't know about the full picture, I could have posted that and said nothing about it, and you would have thought one thing. They know about the full picture, but all they're going to do is show you the cropped one to push forward a narrative. If you do your own research, you're able to go to the website and see the full picture and be like, wait a minute, there's a few black folks in the audience. Who's this guy's face that's covered up? I see an afro. I'm seeing, an NBA basketball player hairstyle. What's really going on here? You see, that's what happens when you do your own research and you don't trust anything that they tell you. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about what New York Magazine did? Is it just an innocent thing? It's not really a big deal. They had to crop it just, to make sure it looked right and have a nice frame. That's all that it is. And they were trying to convey the general feeling, the feeling about the party being majority white. So they had to convey that feeling. And the way to do that would be to crop out the black people at the party that they say is all white. Whatever your thoughts are on this, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. Mainstream media sucks. They've been like that for a long time. And you can't trust anything that anybody says. You can't trust, especially them. Off the rip, off the bat, that they're going to lie to you. You got to expect it. So whenever you see anything that looks kind of fishy or it might be kind of incendiary, take a moment to think, pause, look into it and see what's going on. Then you'll be able to find the reality. Just like the whole thing with the federal funds. Oh, they're going to freeze food stamps. Okay, let's just take 2 seconds and look into it. And you're going to see that it is explicitly not going to impact food stamps. But again, if you don't do your own research, if you don't do your own digging, you'll just accept whatever they tell you and have that be that. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.